वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धय ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेता स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं, श्रीमद् भगवत गीता भगवान के मुखार बिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है, और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है। इसमें कोई संशय नहीं। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है। इस उपदेश को सृष्टि के आरंभ से ही सुनाया गया था। सबसे पहले इस उपदेश को सुनने वाले सूर्य नारायण थे, फिर मनु महाराज हुए, फिर इक्ष्वाकु महाराज हुए। इस प्रकार परंपरा से चलता हुआ ये गीता ज्ञान द्वापर युग में कई लाख वर्षों के बाद फिर से भगवान कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को सुनाया था।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
भगवान ने गीता के अंदर 3 जगह वर्णन किया है। एक किया है 10वें अध्याय में, और उसने बताया है कि मौन मेरी विभूति है। संसार में जितनी भी विभूतियां हैं वो सब भगवान की है। विभूति वी के माने विशेष, विभूति के माने अस्तित्व, जिसका एग्जिस्टेंस विशेष रूप से है वो विभूति कहलाती है। 10वें अध्याय में भगवान ने विभूतियों का वर्णन किया है। कहता है ये विभूति जो है ये मेरे मौन है, इसको मेरा ही स्वरूप समझो। दूसरा फिर वर्णन किया है भगवान ने 12वें अध्याय में। 12वां अध्याय जो है वो है भक्ति योग, कि जो मौन है वो मेरी भक्ति है। चाहे तो मेरी विभूति समझो मौन को, और चाहे मेरी भक्ति समझो मौन को। फिर तीसरी जगह वर्णन आया है मौन का, किसमें? 17वें अध्याय में। और 17वें अध्याय में आया है मना प्रसाद सौम्यत्वम मौन महात्मा विनिग्रह। मन की जो प्रसन्नता है वही, और सौम्यत्वम मन में जो सौम्यता है, अहंकार नहीं है, अभिमान नहीं है, दिखावा नहीं है, तो वो मौन भी भगवान कहते हैं कि मेरा ही लक्षण है। अब 3 जगह भगवान ने 3 लक्षण बताए हैं मौन के। एक जगह बताया है कि मौन जो है वो भगवान की विभूति है। विभूति कहते हैं विशेष शक्ति। जहां जहां आपको विशेष शक्ति दिखाई दे वो भगवान की विभूति है। और फिर भक्ति योग आया है, वो भक्ति जहां आपने मौन देखा वो भगवान की भक्ति है। आपका मन भगवान की भक्ति में लग गया। इस प्रकार मौन के ये 3 लक्षण हैं। और तीसरा बताया है कि जो श्रद्धा है, ये श्रद्धा ही मौन है। अब आप इस मौन को तीनों में से जो ठीक समझो वो मौन कर लो। भक्ति वाली मौन, शक्ति वाली मौन और श्रद्धा वाली मौन। इनमें से जिस मौन को आपने धारण कर लिया, आपने मौन को सीख लिया। मौन कैसे रखना चाहिए ये तीनों जगह वर्णन है इसका। और तीनों जगह आपने रखा तो भक्ति मार्ग से है और अध्यात्म मार्ग से है और श्रद्धा के मार्ग से है। और तो ये मौन ही भगवान की विभूति है, मौन ही भगवान की भक्ति है और मौन ही भगवान की श्रद्धा है। इसको आप धारण करो। कैसे धारण करना है? धारण ये करना है, फालतू बात नहीं करनी। जहाँ बहुत जरूरी है, आवश्यक है, बोलना है, वो अब थोड़ा सा बोलो और थोड़ा बोल के समाप्त कर दो। ज्यादा जो आप बोलते हो एक्स्ट्रा, वो मौन नहीं है, वो बकवास है। तो ज्यादा नहीं बोलना चाहिए हर जगह। जितना जरूरी है उतना बोलो और उतना बोल के समाप्त कर दो। लेकिन अपनी कोई एक बात कहने के लिए आप उसे जब बहुत लंबा करते हो, कहते ही चले जाते हो, वो मौन नहीं है, वो बकवास है आपकी। तो बकवास नहीं होनी चाहिए। मौन से भक्ति ऐसे की जाती है कि हमेशा वाणी को कम प्रयोग में लाओ और वाणी में भगवान का स्मरण करो। ये मौन भक्ति से हो गई, इसमें भक्ति आ गई आपकी। तो हमेशा आप मौन का उपयोग भक्ति के अंदर करो। और भक्ति के अंदर करना, भगवान का स्मरण करना है, भगवान का ही ध्यान करना है, भगवान का ही चिंतन करना है। इस प्रकार जब आप भगवान का चिंतन, भगवान का ध्यान और भगवान की भक्ति करेंगे तो भगवान की भक्ति आप में आ जाएगी। फिर आपका मन दूसरी तरफ नहीं जाएगा, फालतू बातों में जाएगा नहीं। तो फालतू बातों से हटा करके मन को एक परमात्मा के चरणों में लगाना। हाँ, जैसे आपने ये लगाया, ये भगवान का ये भक्ति भाव है, ये भक्ति का चिन्ह है। ये भाई ने भक्ति के बारे में पूछा, मैंने आप लोगों को भक्ति के विषय बताया कि जो भगवान की भक्ति करता है वो भगवान का बन जाता है और भगवान उसके बन जाते हैं। हम भक्तन के भक्त हमारे, जो भगवान के ये वचन है, भक्त हमारे हैं और हम भक्तों के हैं। कि तब से भगवान आपके हो गए और आप भी भगवान के हो गए। तो हर घड़ी हर वस्तु में भगवान का स्मरण होना चाहिए। और जैसे अभी आपने नमस्कार किया है, ये नमस्कार भी एक भगवान का रूप है। जिसको देखो नमस्कार करो। अकड़ जब आप दिखा तो अपनी, वो भक्ति के खिलाफ है, वो मौन के खिलाफ है। अकड़ मत दिखाओ। ये अकड़ जो है ये विकार है। और मौन जो है, मनन जो है, ये विचार है। विचार ये करो कि जितने बैठे हैं ये सब के सब भगवान के रूप है। तुलसीदास जी ने रामायण में भी ऐसे कहा है, सीय राममय सब जग जानी। ये सारे जगत को पुरुष है तो राम के रूप में देखो और स्त्री है तो सीता के रूप में देखो। कैसे देखोगे? उन्होंने तरीका बताया है, करहु प्रणाम। जब इनको देखो तो इनको प्रणाम करो। कैसे करोगे? करही प्रणाम जोड़ी युग पाणी। जोड़ी माने जोड़ करके, युग माने दोनों, पाणी माने हाथ। दोनों हाथों को ऐसे मिला करके और प्रणाम करो। ये अगर आपने नियम ने बना लिया तो आपने मौन का रूप धारण कर लिया। फालतू बात मत करो। जब जिससे मिलो, श्री राममय सब जग जानी। सारे जगत को सीता और राम के रूप में देखो। और कैसे देखोगे? करहु प्रणाम। इसको देखो, उनको प्रणाम करो। तो कैसे प्रणाम करोगे? जोड़ी युग पाणी। जोड़ना, दोनों हाथों को जोड़ देंगे। युग मन दोनों, पाणी माने हाथ। दोनों हाथों को जोड़ करके उनको प्रणाम करो। ये भगवान ने रामायण में तुलसीदास जी ने बताया है। और अगर आप इस तरह से नियम कर लिया, जिसको देखो हाथ जोड़ के प्रणाम करो, तो आपका ये मौन सफल हो गया, मौन सिद्ध हो गया। और जो मौन का उत्तम फल है वो आपको मिल गया।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
देवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। Respected Gita devotees, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. On behalf of Swami Gita Kiranji, Guru Bhai Joshi ji and myself, I extend a very warm Gita Ashram welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking the time to grace us with your presence. Our guest speaker for today is Guru Bhai Chandra Prakash ji of Gita Ashram, Minnesota. It's so nice to see you, Joshi ji. I would like to invite you to please conduct the session as per our agenda. Over to you, Joshi ji. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Joshi ji, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Welcome from Jodhpur, India, birthplace of Gurudev Hari Maharaj. I want to request our very dear friend Vivek Kamranji to please introduce very dear Shashi Prakash Ji from Minnesota and carry on the further meeting. I want to be a devotee like anybody else. So, Kamranji, please carry on. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Joshi ji, you're looking great. We saw you having a dip in the Ganges. I hope you did that for all of us too.
I
That
sure
was
did. I sure did.
beautiful. You are so lucky to be there. Gurudev's blessings as usual. And I really want to thank Peter ji today for what a beautiful pravachan of Gurudev. Peter ji, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आज तो आपने 3 secrets बता दिए हैं जो हमने बहुत सोचते रहते थे about Mohan. He has shared that with us. It is so profound कि ये जो अमृतवाणी है गुरुदेव की, it is here with us. Thank you so much for sharing. It is so profound. With that, I just wanted to mention Dr. Chandra Prakash. He's been a recognized speaker in Minnesota for many, many years. And both him and Shashi Prakash have done a lot of goodwill work for Gita Ashram. Dr. Shashi Prakash has been to Gita Dham several times, by the way, and she has really enjoyed her visits over there. A lot of good work. And Chandra Prakash has been very active in speaking. And जो practical tips हैं भगवत गीता के ऊपर, that is something that Chandra Prakash always shares with us. So with that, I would love to have Chandra Prakash ji take a few minutes and talk about it. And yes, Gita Ashram is doing great. And February 23rd is a big function. And we will send out some information on that. And please join us on February 23rd. It's Mahashivratri. Go ahead, Chandra Prakash ji. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Mata Di. Jai Gurudev.
You need to unmute yourself. Unmute कीजिए, please.
Yeah, unmute yourself.
I'm meeting. बोलो. I'm at home in the meeting, Zoom.
खोलू मैं गेट खोलू सा हाँ खोलू मैं
Okay.
आप अनम्यूट कीजिए. आपका आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
Yeah. How is now?
Perfect.
Okay. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. I'll start with a small story. A certain man had 3 friends, 2 of whom he loved dearly, but other he very lightly esteemed. It happened one day that the king commanded his presence at court, at which he was greatly alarmed and wished to procure an advocate. So he went accordingly to the first guy, one of his friends, whom he loved. He flatly refused to accompany him. The second friend he went to, whom he lightly esteemed, offered to go with him as far as the king's gate, but no further. The third, whom he very rarely esteemed or took care of, he not only went unwillingly with him, but so ably defended him before the king that he was acquitted. In like manner, we have 3 friends. When death summons us to appear before the Creator, our first friend whom we love most, namely our money, bank balance, Rolls Royce, home, they cannot go with you a single step. His second relations and his friends and neighbors can only accompany him to the graveyard or crematorium, but cannot defend him before the judge. While his third friend, whom he does not esteem, his good works, goes with him before the king and obtain his acquittal. So you must do good work to attain that acquittal. Our Scripture says there are 4 purusharthas that one should follow: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Dharma means you should do everything in a righteous manner. Artha, you need economic security. You have to earn money, so that should be earned in a right manner. Once you have that, you want to have a good social life, kama, and that should be also very well done in proper manner. The ultimate goal is moksha, this liberation. You want to liberate yourself, you want to enlightenment, attain. That is the last of all. And Bhagavad Gita gives us 4 paths to that: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga. Follow any of these paths which suits your nature, and you will be on the right track. Bhagavad Gita represents a dynamic picture of spiritual life. It does not advocate a passive withdrawal from the world in search of spiritual peace and perfection. Rather, it beckons the soul of a person to fight the battle of life heroically in order to attain victory in the form of self-realization. The very setting of Gita presents a symbolic picture of life, incessant battle. The soul must face the contending forces of darkness and light, of virtue and vice in the battlefield of life. Being guided by the intuitive vision represented by divine Krishna, the soul is led to join the forces of light in order to destroy the forces of darkness and attain victory in the form of self-realization. Self-realization can be attained by following the path of yogas. Of all 4 yoga, there are Karma Yoga, which is mainly followed. When we talk about Karma Yoga, we are talking about Gita, Kamya Karma. Karma is of 5 types: Nitya Karma, Naimitya Kamya Karma, Nishiddha Karma, and Prayashchit Karma. The Gita is referring to your Kamya Karma. In general, people are accustomed to living with desire, and if this desire is not there, life seems empty. Yet it seems impossible to live without the expectation before you, and at the same time, Gita hammers that you should have no desire and no expectation. That contradiction creates a lot of confusion and requires the study of Gita. We continue for our study, it will become clear that the contradiction is not there. What Gita wants you to do is not to become attached to the fruit of action. When you desire something, you have already decided in your mind that is what I'm going to get, and when I get it, how happy I'm going to be. This attachment to fruit causes difficulty. Recall the poem of Kalidas that represents this matter in a beautiful, picturesque manner. There's a lake. In that lake, there's a lotus. And in that lotus, a bee is sipping the nectar of the flower. Not knowing that sun is setting, and with the setting of the sun, the flower is closing. It happens that sun sets and the bee is enclosed in the flower. Now, what are the thoughts going through the bee's mind at this time? She said, well, Ratri Gamishyati Bhavishyati Suprabhatam. The night will pass and it will be dawn again, and with the dawn, the sun will rise again, and with the rising of the sun, this flower will open again. And once again, I will be free to go from one flower to another and sip the nectar of the flower. Right at that time, it happens that a herd of elephants is walking through that pond, and one of the elephants steps on that lotus flower. In that, the flower is crushed, and along with that, the bee is crushed. So is the life. That is, lotus in a lake suffers. We in the world have the similar thing. The world of expectation is fraught with misery. The idea that your expectation should be fulfilled the way you have expected is irrational. It's irrational in a way. Let me illustrate with a small story. A farmer, a villager, had two daughters. One was married to a farmer, another was married to a potter. So after some time, he thought he'll visit both the daughters. So he visited first daughter and said, "How are things in life?" She said, "All are fine. My husband has really sowed all the seeds and all that. And yes, pray to Lord that we have lot of rain next few days, so we will have flourishing here." He said, "Okay, I'll do that." Then he goes to the second daughter, and she's a potter's wife. And she said, "Oh, my husband made a lot of good pots, so he is going to be having a very good time. Pray that Lord, next 10 days we have a lot of sun, so these pots come out good." Now, what can he do? Tell me. This is a predicament. Now, what should he do? Therefore, I will say you must understand that human expectation is there. It's natural to expect. But along with that expectation, there must be a sense of surrender to God. Knowing that, after all, it is the divine plan that you must carry out, and that's befitting to everybody than your own plan. Your own plan is very short and sweet. Well, let me conclude it with the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanardhara, Tatra Shirir Vijay Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Where there is Lord Krishna and Lord Arjuna, there is prosperity, glory, and everything. You know what is prosperity here? They are not talking about wealth. It's a sixfold virtue that we have and we should practice. That makes us enriched. And that sixfold virtue is Shama, Dhamma, Upadati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. Those are the things we should follow, and we should be happy if we have them. The material wealth is not important. This is the really Shat Sampatti of the Lord. And with that, I will say, have a nice day. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Joshi ji, unmute yourself. Unmute, Joshi ji. Joshi ji, unmute. Unmute.
Yes, thank you very much, Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Beautiful discussion by Chandra Prakash ji. And I want to very humbly, with lots of excitement, waiting for a few weeks, request Dr. Prasad ji, please carry on. I'm eagerly waiting to listen your voice.
जोशी जी पहले डॉक्टर कपूर जी है ना, डॉक्टर कपूर जी भूल गए आप?
I am too far away. I was hoping Vivek ji will do that.
Please request
Narendra
Kapoor ji
Kapoor
to.
ji never can forget you. Never
Yeah.
ever. Thank you very, very much. I'm so sorry. I'm missing out so many.
Yeah.
Everything here. So,
It's all right.
so Kapoor ji, please start.
Dr. Kapoor ji, unmute. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna. It was a spiritual mistake. We all accept it. Om Shri Paramatme Namaha. Gita Shasmidham Punyam. Ya Pathe Priyatapamam. Vishnu Padam Vaproti. भय शोकादिवर्जिताः गीता अध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायाम परस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्म कृतानि च। ॐ शान्तकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरं सर्वलोक एकैनाथम्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीय मामृतात्। ॐ Srimad Bhagavad Gita was emanated from the lotus lips of Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra approximately 5,000 years before. There are three schools of thoughts: the yoga of action, karma yoga, the yoga of bhakti, devotion, and the yoga of knowledge, Jnana Yoga. 700 verses divided into 18 chapters. Life is not that complicated. It is a perfect product of the creation. इसमें कोई कमी नहीं है. Everything is there. In a microscopic and macroscopic, both forms, our body is perfect. Perfect. And that is the beauty of all of us. कि आप जैसा कोई है नहीं. There are 8.7 billion people crowded on this tiny planet. लेकिन आप जैसा और कोई नहीं. आप ही हो. So such a beautiful entity and identity, and still we don't recognize it. We don't take care of ourselves. And there the wisdom of Sri Bhagavad Gita kicks in. It is your responsibility. And we know it very well. I just want to say and reinforce that I am manifested in your heart. Sarvasya chaham haridisam nibishta. तो अगर भगवान श्री कृष्ण आपके हृदय में बैठे हैं और आपको अवेयरनेस है इस चीज की कि नहीं, हम तो कहीं और ढूंढते हैं. And it's a divine awareness, divine warranty coming out of chapter 15, verse 15, that I am seated in your heart. Do we treat our body as a temple? No. हमारे हाथ में man-made temples हैं, आश्रम हैं. इस आश्रम का, इस temple का पता ही नहीं है हमें. And that is why we suffer. Our emotional layers are totally torn off. People are suffering. They don't sleep overnight. Their digestive systems have been compromised. Their emotional body is totally torn out. And because we don't respect our body, although there is a wisdom that we are not the bodies, we are living in the bodies. But that distinction must be kept. But since Lord is seated in our heart, it is our fundamental moral and ethical duty to make this temple more beautiful, comfortable. Our respiratory system should be working. Bhagavan is seated in your heart. Your speech should be polished, polite, compassion, empathy. That is the Bhagavan Shri Krishna seated in your heart is looking for. हम तो ईश्वर द्वेष से भरे पड़े हैं, सेल्फ प्रेस्टीज में भरे पड़े हैं, ईगो इतनी स्ट्रांग है, छोटे छोटे काम करके हम आसमान पे चढ़ जाते हैं। तो हमें तो इस बात की अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है कि गॉड इज सीटेड इन माई हार्ट। भगवान श्री कृष्ण, ही इज इन माई हार्ट। So how to please? All our arteries, spiritual arteries are clogged. एक छोटी सी artery block होती है, they put up the stent. But who will put up the spiritual stents going to the divine abode of Bhagwan Shri Krishna who is seated in your heart? वो सब clog हैं। इस बात की ओर हम ध्यान नहीं देते। Our health is compromised. They say life span is longer now, but there is a lot of suffering. Look around, drive 100 miles here and there, wherever you are living, nursing home after nursing home after nursing home, hospital, and corporate world of these pharmaceutical companies. It was not like that. It was not like that because the people were respecting their bodies. They were disciplined. Their eating habits were totally different. Less is more. Qualitative food was there. Though all those things have disappeared, Bhagavad Gita gives you the challenge. Challenge yourself. Am I taking care of my body? Not according to the medical direction that you have to do. जो गोलियां खानी है वो तो खानी पड़ेगी 20, 25%, and every person is taking 20, 30 tablets every day. I am talking about the spiritual body. जो आपकी अंदर थर्ड सेकंड बॉडी है, फिजिकल बॉडी, स्पिरिचुअल बॉडी, इसका कौन ध्यान रखेगा? इट इज योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। जितनी वो ठीक नहीं है, ईश्वर से आप मिल ही नहीं सकते। As I said it before, all the arteries, spiritual arteries are clogged, and Bhagavan Shri Krishna is seated in the heart. There is no communication, absolutely no communication. So try to realign yourself with this awareness that this body is a temple. Eat qualitative food, eat less. Food should be non-violent. Any type of violence in your food sprouts the black energy. इसलिए दुनिया में इतना कुछ हो रहा है because the food habits have changed. It's a dark energy they are consuming. Children also. And it's a tragic situation. अभी कहते हैं कि चिकन फ्लू हो गया है, millions and millions chickens will be slaughtered. If there is a cow, dairy product में ऐसे न्यूज आती है, the cows will be slaughtered. In the middle of the night, just think how many slaughterhouses are there. And then the McDonald's and Wendy's and other fast food stores are full of people. It is not a spiritual life. Change and challenge yourself. Then you are the devotee of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. हम पार्टी में जाते हैं, प्लेटें भरी होती हैं। Are you kidding me? You are not a student of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. आप फूड की रिस्पेक्ट ही नहीं कर रहे। So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita's central message is respect the body because take care of it through your food, through your speech, through your thoughts. Until and unless you do these things, Bhagavad Gita's core message we are missing. And that is why the surrender, the concept of surrender is missing us. With these thoughts, Jai Shri Krishna, I'm wishing good health and quality of life to all my compatriots on this platform forum. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Narendra ji, so nice. I love that 15th verse of 15 chapters. Sarvasya chaham hridaya sannivito. If someone can recognize the one that we worship is sitting lying in your heart, so many things are solved by itself. And if I see you have in your heart the same Krishna as I have, there's nothing left except to love each other. World will be like a swarg here. Thank you so much. I sincerely apologize for miscalculating the sequence of today's speakers, so my apologies to you, Dr. Kapoor. Now I humbly request Dr. Prasadji, please take it from here. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Joshi ji. Very nice to see you back. We were missing you badly earlier. Let me start with the prayer to Bhagwan and Gurudev. Vansi Vibhushitakaran Navnirdabhat Pitambara Darunabimba Daroshthat Purnendu Sundaramukhat Arvindanetrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tat Tvamaham na jane Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Divine souls, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. As you all know, we are going through chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga. Last week, we were going through this mantra 8, in which Bhagavan says, Mayeva mana adhatsva Mai buddhim niveshaya Nivasheshyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na sankshaya. Fix your mind on me alone. Let your intellect dwell in me. Thereupon you shall always live in me. Of this, there is no doubt. This is the most important verse of this chapter 12. You know, 12 is the heart of Bhagavad Gita, and this mantra is the heart of chapter 12. What Bhagavan says here? That you give to me what? Mind and intellect. You surrender your mind and intellect to you. Now, if I surrender my mind and intellect to him, what remains to me? If you have no intellect, you are not him, human being. Jnanena hina vasubhi samana. But this is the mind and this is the intellect which creates problem. And that problem is so strong that it repels you from approaching Bhagavan. What is there? You have impurities. With purity, which you have been able to gain through your spiritual activities, with that there are also impurities. अज्ञानता, भगवान कहते हैं उस अज्ञानता को भी मुझे दे दो. सूरदास जी ने एक बहुत सुंदर एक भजन गाया है, बहुत पुराना भजन है। प्रभु मोरे अवगुण चित न धरो, प्रभु मोरे अवगुण चित न धरो, समदर्शी है नाम तिहारो, समदर्शी है नाम तिहारो, चाहो तो पार करो, प्रभु जी मोरे अवगुण चित न धरो। My impurities I am offering unto you. Please ignore that. Please do not look at the impurities on me. Whatever I had, I have surrendered unto you. Now it is up to you whether you like me to sail across the sansar sagar, the ocean of this sansar. It is up to you, in your hands. On my part, I have done, I have given you everything what I have got, even it is there impurities in that. That what Bhagwan wants from his bhakta. We are talking of bhakta. We are not talking of karma yogi, please remember. We are also not talking about jnana yogi. What a karma yogi does, swe swe karamanya rataha sansiddhim lavate nara. Verse 45 of chapter 18. Through practice, through karma, practice, using his body, mind, senses and everything, he performs his actions in such a way that slowly the impurities are taken care of. He is not surrendering himself. He is not surrendering his mind on intellect onto Bhagwan. That karma yogi performs action, and through his action, good actions, he over a period of time gets his impurities away so that it becomes pure, and with pure mind, then he can follow on the path of spirituality at a faster pace. What about Jnana Yogi? Jnana Yogi goes through the process of Srabanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. He also uses his power to hear scriptures. He grabs whatever is given in the scripture, tries to manana on, think about it. He gets his doubts cleared. Then he gets purity of mind, which can concentrate on Bhagavan. He goes to the dhyana, nididhyasanam, and gets merged with that. In bhakti, it is different. Because when you offer yourself with your mind and intellect, you surrender everything you have to the feet of Lord. We keep talking about it. But how to do it, we'll come to that in a minute. But in principle, we have to see that this mind and intellect is not mine. This mind and intellect I have offered on to Bhagwan. And then Bhagwan takes upon from there, and he has made a promise. He has told us, Tesamevanukam partam aham ajnanajam tama nashyamatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhaswata. I take upon myself तेसाम अनुकंपा, उसके ऊपर दया करके, have my grace on him. Through my grace, ajnan tama, that impurity, that darkness of impurities that he has got, I take upon to dispel that. You don't have to grow go through the process of karma yoga. You don't need to go through the process of jnana yoga. If you have been able to surrender your mind and intellect onto him through bhakti yoga, through shraddha, deep shraddha, then Bhagwan takes upon himself jnana dipena bhaswata, that ignorance will be transformed into the effulgence of Bhagwan, and you will be one with that. So what is important? There is need to surrender your possession, not just little bit, entirety. Nothing is yours. Everything is that of Bhagwan. We also sing bhajan. Sab avalamban tyaj kar pyare. Sab avalamban tyaj kar pyare. तू मेरी शरण में आ जा रे, कर दूंगा पाप से मुक्त तुझे, बतला दिया कृष्ण मुरारी ने, गीता का ज्ञान सभी जग को बतला दिया कृष्ण मुरारी ने. You surrender everything up, your own avlamban, depending upon yourself, you give up. तू मेरी शरण में आ जा रे. You come to my refuge, and having done that, कर दूंगा पाप से मुक्त तुझे. तुम्हारे सारे impurities को, सारे पापों को I will wash off. You see, when we talk of the wash off, the word washing machine comes into the mind. You may wash your cloth by rubbing with various type of detergents, and घस करके आप साफ कर रहे हैं. That process is there, but it takes long time. But if you give all your impurities onto washing machine, you give everything to Bhagwan, it will churn all your impurities out. The need for us is to surrender everything onto Bhagwan. But the question is how to do this, how to surrender this. That is a big thing. How to surrender mind and intellect to Lord, and that too thoroughly, entirety in its entirety. We have talked about the processes in earlier talk I have given. I have tried to mention that. But two things we should remember. One is that I have my thoughts in my mind. The thoughts in my mind are pure or impure, as we have talked about. What we can do is to try to transform my thoughts into purity. You put a tag onto that. You see, when we used to do Belapatra, शिव जी का, तो बेलपत्र के हर एक पत्र पर राम राम लिखते थे. But there is one Belapatra without Ram Nam. So that is not become Ram Nami Belapatra. But one who writes, I have done it as a child with my mother sitting there. We used to prepare sandalwood, घस घस करके बनाते थे और राम 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 लिखते थे. Now that patra with Ram becomes charged, tagged. It is as if you're offering everything onto him. जब बंदर भालू बाकी सब wanted to cross over to Lanka, then what they did, they wrote Ram Ram on the stone. And that stone was different from another stone which was not with Ram. They have this Shraddha so much that put heart and soul onto that. And that stone which could not float became afloat. And with that, they were able to make a bridge and cross over this. What I'm trying to say, we have to tag ourselves, be an agent. And the other point is to be an agent of Bhagavan. You have advertisement, you see Haldiram advertisement. Now this Haldiram advertisement, they are trying to sell so many items. भुजिया भी है, रसगुल्ला भी है, गुलाब जामुन भी है, पकोड़े भी हैं, समोसे भी हैं. They are all various items are there, but the agent who goes to propagate those items, what they have in mind? Haldiram. In the mind, they have how to get the company, which is Haldiram, to propagate those items, although there are varieties, but each one of them has a tag of Haldiram onto that. And that's what he has got in his mind. Can we, when we perform any action, when we perform any activity, without looking at the consequences, before the start of action, we tag that with Bhagavan onto that, offering onto the Bhagavan. When we are eating anything, we say, with Brahmara Param Brahmavir Brahmagno, we put the tag of Brahma onto our item. Then that is not food. Although there are varieties of items, they all become Bhagavan ka prasad. Everything becomes, you don't itemize them. Every item is prasad, because everyone has the tag of Bhagavan onto that. The practical way of utilizing this direction or taking into practice that instruction which Bhagavan is giving, that man or buddhi dono mujhe de do, मैं सारे को क्या करूंगा? I will, if you surrender that through the practice of bhakti yoga, you will completely free from all impurities. I will be there to look after that, and you will be free from all the impurities. So thus we are, what we saw that in this mantra 8, Lord advises to surrender mind and intellect to him. This is called Samarpana Yoga. As you know, from mantra 8 to 11, Bhagavan is talking about 4 methods, 4 sadhana, 4 प्रकार के साधना की बात भगवान 8 से 11 मंत्र में करते हैं. This has to be kept in mind, one after another. Bhagavan has given opportunity for various levels of individuals having the various capabilities depending upon their aptitude, the degree of inaptitude. Bhagavan has given alternatives. You can do Samarpana Yoga, that what has been mentioned in mantra 8, or you can do Abhyasa Yoga, which is given in mantra 9, or then he says Madartha Karma, Mat Karma, that is Bhagavat Karma, that is given in verse 10, and then he talks about renunciation of fruits of action in mantra 11. So there are 4 different sadhana for bhakti Bhagavan has given us in verses in mantra 8 to 11. Let us go one after another. Let us see what Bhagavan talks about in mantra 9. Atachetam samadhatum na saknosi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mamikshaptum dhananjaya. Atham, if chittam samadhatum na saknosi, if you are unable to fix your mind, mai stharam, where steadily on me, that then abhyasa yogena, by uniting with God through repeated practice, Mam iksha aptum, seek to attain me, Dhananjay, O conqueror of wealth. What he said to Arjuna? Bhagavan says, if you are unable to surrender your mind and intellect onto me, that's what it means here. Chittam samadhatum. O Arjun, then uniting God with repeated practice, abhyasa yoga, what you do? Seek to attain me, O Dhananjaya. Now, when we talk of Dhananjaya, just a word about it. Dhananjaya has two parts, Dhanam Jaya, conqueror of wealth. What is the implication here? Bhagavan is telling him, well, you have been able to collect a lot of wealth for, of course, yajna purpose. And in that process, you have defeated many enemies. I am telling you to defeat one enemy, O Dhananjaya. If you have been able to collect wealth of knowledge, that's what I'm telling you, defeat one enemy through abhyasa yoga, through practice, through use this weapon of abhyasa yoga to be able to defeat one enemy, and then that way you conquer the wealth of knowledge. Now in this verse, what Bhagavan is saying, if you are unable, you see, we have, all of us have different level of composition of guna, satogun, rajogun, and tamogun. And this composition makes you more receptible and more ability to practice one sadhana as compared to other. There are people who can sit down and practice meditation straight away. There are people who cannot do it. He may try many times. Moment he sits down, thoughts of the whole world starts jumping on his. He cannot sit down and meditate. Do you mean to say that he cannot be a bhakta? No. He can be a bhakta, and there are alternatives given by Bhagavan to him. He says, if you are not able to concentrate, practice. Practice is there's nothing that cannot be attained by practice. Through practice, whatever is aim one has, one is able to achieve. You see all those who go to Olympics and others, they keep practicing, practicing, practice. The one who cannot jump 2 feet jumps 5 feet. And so that makes that effort. He puts an effort, and practice is effort. Here, the effort is needed in order to attain certain things. Bhagavan is advising Arjuna, if you are not able to concentrate, to be able to steady your mind, to be able to surrender your mind and intellect, then by abhyasa yoga, seek to attain me through the yoga of abhyasa. You all know that in chapter 8, mantra 8, abhyasa yoga has been mentioned. And there what says Bhagavan? Same principle, same results. What says? Abhyasa yoga yuktena cetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati parthanuchintayan. O Partha, he who by the constant practice of yoga, his mind thinking of nothing else, constantly meditating on me, attains the supreme divine, the Purusa, Param Purusa, he attains. How? Through practice of abhyasa, through abhyasa yoga, that enables one to attain that Brahma. Now, Maharshi Patanjali has given a definition of abhyasa. He's defined in the Yoga Darshan, the definition of abhyas has been given. What is that? Tatra sthitau yatno bhyasaha. Tatra sthitau yatno abhyasaha. The efforts for the continuous maintenance of the stoppage of modifications. Here, Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali is talking about Chitta Nirodha. So if Chit is so chanchal, so much uncontrollable, but through Abhyasa, Bhagavan also to Abhyasa Yoga, Abhyasa Vairagya, you can control. So here emphasis is on word Abhyas. Abhyas is you are able through the practice, if you are able to stop the modification of mind, that effort put in there is called Abhyas. Abhyas to stop or to maintain the to able to stabilize your thoughts in your mind, that is the practice, and that is Abhyas. Now, Sukdev Ji Maharaj, to which Kripalu Ji Maharaj often quotes, जगते मन को हटाकर लगा हरि में प्यारे, इसी का अभ्यास पुनि पुनि करो निरंतर प्यारे, sadhana karu pyare. One of the sadhana is that you should jagat se man ko hatakar. You have to detach yourself from sansar and attach your mind onto Bhagwan. This is the key word to be able to practice. We should detach ourselves. Jagat se man ko hatakar. To detach your mind from involvement in sansar. Puni puni abhyas. Not I did today and you don't do tomorrow. You repeatedly you do the vyasa. Karu nirantar pyare. If you do that all the time, constantly, again and again, that is abhyasa. And through abhyasa, you should be able to ma vikshaptum dhananjaya. You can attain me, oh Arjuna, if you are engaged in the practice in the proper way that has been advised to you. Now what Bhagavan talks in verse 12. He talks about Abhyase samarthosi matkarma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvan siddhimavapsasi. He says, Abhyasena, in practice, api, if asamarthasi, you are unable. Mat karma paramaha bhava, intent on working for me. Mat karma, it is for me. Karvani kurvan, that means undertaking action. Mad arthamapi, for my sake also, what will happen? Siddhim apsasi. You will attain perfection. So there is another choice Bhagavan is saying, that if you are unable to even sit down and practice, you are not able to continue with the practice which is advised to you, then whatever action you perform, whatever undertaking you take of any action you perform, you do for my sake. If you are performing action for my sake, then also you will be able to attain perfection. So he is dropping down from the level where one is able to surrender his mind and intellect on him, that he can practice and make an effort to be able to bring that mind and intellect onto Bhagavan. If that is also not possible, then activities what you are carrying on in this world, you do everything for my sake. You perform that with intent on me. If you are unable to perform, that meaning is that if you are unable to perform the yoga practice, be intent on work for me. When Bhagavan says work for me, that means you may not be directly in contact with him, but you are doing all those actions which is pleasing to him. if activity, whatever you perform in the world, if that doesn't hurt him, you see, Bhagavan has talked about कौन सा काम करने से मुझे तकलीफ होती है. So, you do those work, you did work for him. That means you perform activities which is pleasing to him. He is happy you perform those actions. That means you do not perform any action which in the eyes of Bhagavan is detrimental and is not pleasing to him. You must undertake the work that will be able to please him. Bhagavan says, Purvan Siddhim Vapsasi. If you have performed all those actions, all with those actions also, it is possible for you to attain perfection. That is Sthita Pragya. You remember chapter 2, Bhagavan talks about the Sthita Pragya, in which he talks about so many attributes which is required for one to be Sthita Pragya. I think my time has come to end. I will stop over here. We'll carry on further next week. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Thank you very much.
Jai Sri Krishna, Dr. Prasadji, so well explained. Favorite chapter of Gurudev and instructions by him for all of us to practice, understand Bhakti Yoga. And now is the first time it has been discussed, described, analyzed so beautifully by Dr. Prasadji. So much time, so much analysis. Thank you so much. Before I request Swami Gita Kiranji to conduct the healing session, I want to bring out a notice that next Wednesday is full moon recitation and healing coming from Thailand, Bangkok. We will send you the notification by WhatsApp as well as email. Please try to join and have a very beautiful experience of crystal sound meditation, which is known to heal so many things in our system. Now I request very humbly Swami Gita Kiranji for our next program of healing. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Joshiji. Sutam Devam Kansajano Ramadanam You can now gently and slowly open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness, and all you have to do is to shine brightly, and you will be helping the world and the universe. Stay blessed. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Thank you very much, Swami Gita Kiran. I want to again remind next Wednesday, full moon healing. Please join us. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I am in Jodhpur right now, so internet may be different. I'll get used to it soon. See you again next Saturday and of course next Wednesday. Please watch WhatsApp and your email. Namaskar. Late Mahakumbh blessing be with you, all of you. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। जय श्री कृष्ण, जय गुरु।
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai
Shri
Guru.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Peter ji. Thank you, Joshi ji. And be safe.
Jai Shri. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All the blessed.